My twin brother and I love to do research. I remember about 10 years ago, my brother posted something on Facebook. This high school acquaintance of ours said, "Why do you post so many different kinds of topics?" My brother replied, "I'm a researcher." I chuckled at that, and yet years later, I realized both my brother and I have been researching all our lives. It is part of our DNA. Imagine we were born in the house of the future. If this in itself is not embedded in our DNA, then I don't know what is. The dragons back then were on the cutting edge of inner development. They loved to think outside of the box. Mind you, it wasn't always like that. They went through numerous and tumultuous pain and suffering. Millions of dragons died through fighting and going to war. The same chaos we are going through is the same kind of chaos they went through. At times, nobody thought they would come out of this alive, but somehow they did. They're responsible for us being here. Who knows? Maybe this universe might not have been created if the dragons blew themselves up. They were the building blocks of our universe. We have no idea of the significant role that they did in order for the universe to be alive today. We are all united through the thread of love. That is the dragon message and the message of today. If we don't discover the thread that ties us all together, then we'll completely saw off the branch we are sitting on. Did you know that without kindness, this world will never change for the better? The dragons learned this the hard way. Billions of dragons were slaughtered. In the end, they realized that kindness was the only solution. This is how they evolved. They went from darkness to light.
Kindness is the building blocks of life. The entire essence of the universe is kind. We have seen the results of anger and greed upon this planet for ever so long. What has that brought us but misery and pain? So many wars have been fought. Millions of people have died. The world seems to be in constant chaos. We have a president who mocks and ridicules anyone. Unfortunately, many people pick up on this and do the same. Recently, Roseanne Barr was fired from her show because of her racist comments. She said she wasn't a racist, that she didn't mean what she said. My advice is to think before you speak. If you're about ready to say something you might regret, don't say it. Personally, I see that people are so angry. We have a president who we should look up to, but his words and actions divide us all. Without kindness, we lose our sense of perspective. We lose our basic nature of love and compassion. For example, pulling out of the Paris Accord because you think you know it all. You know more than the entire world at large is pure ego. The entire world is not run around the Trump show. Nations come together to help save the world and environment. Because President Obama signed the agreement, he wants to tear it down. The same goes for the Iran Treaty and so much more. Unfortunately, I could go on for days on these matters. What is the answer? The answer is the world needs to be kind. The the world desperately needs that. That may seem like a Pollyanna approach, but tell me, has anger and war helped us discover our true nature? It has divided us. It's us versus them. In reality, there is only one incredible planet. We are out of sync with the planet and our true nature. I don't think I need to convince you of that. It's so obvious. Yet, when I say the answer is kindness, so many people just roll their eyes. How can that be? It's too simple. Well, try it for a day and see what happens to the world around you. You may not change the world around you. Nobody may notice you're being kind. But inside, you will notice a slight difference. You'll just plant an incredible seed. Water it daily. Pay attention to what you say and do. Be kind in your words and actions. Over time, your seeds will begin an incredible tree of kindness. Instead of weeds, you will have delightful fruits to offer to this world.
The dragons have been talking about the inner garden for trillions of years. They would find it quite funny that the majority of people today would say, "What inner garden?" That is why the world is in such chaos.
The title of this audiobook is The Garden Within. Unfortunately, many people aren't aware of this garden. We live our lives not being connected to our true nature. As I have probably said at least 100 times, you are the universe. You just don't know. Well, what has that got to do with the garden within? To be quite frank, it's everything. Have you ever felt that you are like leaves blowing in the wind? Whatever direction the wind blows, you blow. We have a tendency to react to any given situation. If someone confronts you, you snap back with anger. You have a tendency to speak whatever comes to your mind. You have no control over what you say or do. You only focus on the external. You have no idea there is an internal garden. Consequently, your garden is full of weeds due to neglect. You have had many boulders weighing you down. You have a chip on your shoulder. You fear the future and all its uncertainty. You may have a tendency to use drugs or alcohols to numb the pain within. A good example is the meth and opioids addiction in America today. Millions of people are addicted. The pharmaceutical companies have made billions of dollars making you addicted. On top of that, most of the time, our subconscious is totally in control. We develop habits at a young age. These habits, good or bad, get carried over for the rest of our lives. From the ages of 0 to 7 years, our subconscious is developed. All the good, bad, and ugly gets sucked in. Consequently, our reactions come directly from our subconscious. Without us even being aware, we react. The goal of this book is hopefully to help you, remind you there's another way to live. You can learn to take care of your garden within. You may ask yourself, why should I? I'm content. I don't need anything. Good question. I can only offer you advice. It's your free will and free choice what to do with it. How would you like to be kind in each and every moment? How would you like to experience you are never alone? How would you like to discover your true nature? How would you like to have love patience, and compassion in your life? How would you like never to get bored again? How would you like to become friends with your mind? How would you like to conquer all your bad habits once and for all? How would you like to learn how to consciously reprogram yourself to change for the better? Just like a software engineer develops software, you can use the same process to reprogram yourself in ways you can't even conceive now. How would you like to laugh at adversity? How would you like to hit a curveball of life out of the ballpark? Currently, if a curveball is thrown your way, you may spend months trying to overcome it. Why did this happen to me? Some people never recover. Some people will resort to drugs and alcohols to cover it up. How would you like to learn to have optimum health? You can learn the mind-body-soul connection to enhance your state of being. You will learn that negative stress releases thousands of chemicals which strongly affect your mind and body. How would you like to feel in harmony with the earth and the universe? What a feeling that would be. How would you like to experience a direct and personal connection with God? Imagine behind your breath lies the answers. Imagine in each and every moment you have a divine sense of humor. You can laugh at light. Imagine loving nature to its fullest. You're totally connected to the earth and its creation. You get totally intoxicated in seeing the geese flying in formations in the sky. You love to hear their honking. They aren't an inconvenience to you. How would you like to dance with life in each and every moment? In each and every step you take, you are grateful to be alive. Life is not a hassle or a burden. You see that obstacles are opportunities to grow. How would you like to see the craziness of this world and yet not get affected by it? You can see your friends flaming each other on Facebook and have such a deep connection within. You can learn to live in the center of the hurricane. The winds are blowing all around, yet in the center lies such a peace. This is your true resting place. How would you like to have a peaceful sleep for the rest of your life? Imagine putting your head on the pillow and not have a care in the world. You don't need any medicine to use to fall asleep. How would you like to be grateful for your life? You wake up each morning with boundless energy. You thank God and the universe for another incredible day. You affirm that all good things happen to me. I can overcome any obstacle that comes my way. You no longer dread when the alarm clock goes off, and you hate getting up. These are a few things to consider when you are working on discovering your inner garden. You will discover how to go from darkness to light. In each and every moment, you will learn how to cultivate your inner garden. You will learn that this touches all areas of your life. Not one area will not be touched. Ponder this over. You hold the piece of the puzzle within. Only by your will alone can you make this happen.
The more attention you pay to something, the more attention it pays to you. The dragons learned about this trillions of years ago. They learned only by having their feet on the ground and their heads in heavens will there be peace among the dragons. Meditation was the key. Without meditation, they would have probably blown themselves up.
This book is about my love for meditation. I've been meditating for around 47 years. I love to meditate. You could say I have a knack for it. I'm completely drawn to it. Meditation is probably the most practical thing a human can do. It places to have their feet on the ground and their head in heaven. In the beginning of my practice, I thought there was a special technique that I could use that was beyond all others. There must be a technique beyond all techniques. The more I practiced, I came to the realization it's our sincere effort and love that makes our experience grow. Granted, some techniques are simpler than others. I gravitate towards the simple ones. Life is simple, yet our lives are quite complicated. Look, I don't have all the answers. I'm not a guru or teacher. I'm an amateur. An amateur is one who loves to do what he is doing. I love to tell my story and hopefully inspire you to start on the journey of looking within. On this journey, you will never know exactly how far you have traveled. You see, it's an infinite journey. You are eternal. You will never die. Your body will, yet you are eternal. You are the universe. You just don't know it. I've included all sorts of different things I've learned about meditation on this journey. Some of them are in poems. Some of them are chapters I have written about meditation previously. Some of them are talks that I gave to myself. Did you know you can learn a lot by listening to the words you say? Personally, day by day, my intention is to grow in each and every moment. I try to learn from my mistakes and constantly grow in the process. Meditation has been practiced for time immemorial. It's a place to discover your true nature. It's a place to realize that we are all one and unified by the thread of love. I hope you will enjoy this book. Ponder over these words. I'm not trying to convince you. There's nothing to convert to. This is your true nature.
He who looks externally for happiness will never find it. The wise man looks within and finds the inner jewel. The dragons learned this simple trick, yet it took them billions of years to realize it. Something so obvious, yet today we have the exact same problem occurring.
There's a snowstorm going on outside. I couldn't even get out of my driveway if I wanted to. This book, Happiness, is a composition of all the various times where I talked about happiness. This goes back 25 years to the present. I hope you will reflect and ponder over what I'm presenting. I'm not trying to convince you or convert you. Happiness doesn't need convincing or converting. We all strive for happiness in our own unique way. This is what I have discovered for myself.
As Alexander the Great once said upon his deathbed, we come into this world empty-handed, and we leave this world empty-handed. We still have so much to learn about the mysteries of life and death.
A few days ago, I saw this post from a classmate from my high school. Marion McNaughton's brother died while on vacation in Mexico. Received the very sad news that my oldest brother David passed away while on vacation in Mexico. You are never prepared for losing a sibling, no matter how old you are. He is safely home now, where we'll be with him again one day. I replied with this post. Prayers are sent your way. To be honest, I wish I could have been more helpful. What do you truly say when a loved one has passed away? I hope this book will be helpful for my family and friends. We are at an age when our parents have left us, and many of our friends are long gone. The quest of mine started when I was around 10 years old. Somehow the topic of death came up. I was told that when you die, you no longer exist at all. To be quite frank, I didn't buy that. This is where my journey started. These are the materials I wrote on life and death. I found out this is not a morbid subject, but an understanding where we came from. We come from the universe, and we return to the universe.
Can humanity go through all the levels in the video game of life? We are going from darkness to light. The entire universe is rooting us along.
As you can see, the title of this book is called The New Human. This journey started trillions of years ago. Yet, let's go back around 15 billion years to the time this earth was created. You were there, not in human form. That would be billions of years later. Yet you existed as an infinite spirit. You were the universe in all its glories. You helped create this precious earth called Gaia. You see, you are eternal. You were never created, nor will you ever die. Humans come upon this earth billions of years later. A sacred seed was planted inside of you. Let's fast forward to the present. It seems like our world is in total chaos. Our past has been filled with great traumas and war. What if I told you that 99% of the people are good people, while 1% of the people have been bad apples? Unfortunately, the 1% have ruled man for thousands of years. Look where it's taken us. Yet, at the same time, the seed is still lying inside of you. It's only dormant. According to most indigenous tribes, that if humanity survived past 2012, a new dawning of man would occur. The seed would slowly begin to sprout inside the hearts of mankind. I mean slowly. 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards. This is how humanity grows. This seed contains the universe. This seed contains the absolute love of God. This seed contains pure kindness, love, patience, and tolerance. This is your true nature. Mankind is transforming into a kind man. You may say, all I see are people flaming each other on Facebook. All I see is chaos everywhere. Yet the sun is appearing on the horizon. It's going to be a glorious day. Can you see the golden rays appearing above the ocean of life? A brand new day is coming to man. Granted, this transformation will take time. Remember, this is a journey. What would a journey be without a great adventure? You are part of this journey. This story is all about you. This story is about darkness and light. You see, darkness has no place to hide when the sun starts to shine on this land. Look at the world today. So many dark events are being exposed to the world today. No longer can darkness hide upon this land. This book will contain stories and poems about this new human evolution. Follow me where we are going on this precious journey. You are the main character.
You are hardwired to discover God. The hardware, software, and the operating system has been there your entire life. Maybe it would be wise to turn on the computer. Just saying.
You are hardwired to discover God. Come sit around the campfire for this incredible tale. It's all about you on this journey in life. We were never taught this in school, yet all the great masters talked about this. The signposts of God are all around, yet we don't have the eyes to see. This book will talk about the present-day people who are discussing how we are directly hardwired to find God. It will also go into the scriptures where the evidence is provided where to find the kingdom of heaven. All the major religions are talking about the same thing. They just have a different way expressing it for the particular time and culture. Yet the essence is the same. I believe that today, we as humanity is at a major turning point in our evolution. With the advent of the internet almost 30 years ago, we are at a forefront of really communicating and understanding each other. We are a global village, yet we see the chaos in the world and think there's no hope left in this world. The sun is rising in the horizon. Darkness has nowhere to hide. We're seeing this in all areas of life. Darkness is being exposed. Look at the news today, and you will see it in every area of life. A scandal has been exposed. I see great hope in humanity. Granted, it will take a while. Remember, this is a journey. What would a journey be without having a grand adventure? We are on the journey of going from darkness to light. In a million years, we'll see how far we have gone. Yet each decade going forward, we will witness the consciousness of man's going towards the light. Humanity takes 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards. That's how we grow. From an individual to a nation to the world, we learn by taking baby steps. We learn from our mistakes. This is how we grow. I hope this book will help you on this journey. It has a different point of view, yet millions of people are waking up from their slumber. It doesn't matter what religion or non-religion you believe in. Each one of us has our own unique way to discover our true nature. I believe that it's by your will alone that you take your steps to understand your true nature. The following poem reflects my viewpoint. It's been there all the time. What are you talking about? What's been there all the time? You are the universe. You just don't know it. There are about 7 octillion atoms in your body. All our atoms are billions of years old. At the deepest level, you are the universe in human form. Wow, isn't that incredible? On top of that, you are hardwired to discover your true nature. The signpost of God all around you and inside of you. Yet, we are talking on our phone while driving down the freeway of life. The greatest miracle of life is keeping you alive. You are magnificent. Every single cell of your body is custom designed by God. You are infinite. Your body will someday die, yet your true essence will go on forever. You have the opportunity to discover your true nature. Behind your breath lies the answer. What is keeping you alive? All the great masters have said to be aware of the essence of your breath. Behind your breath lies your true nature. Infinite kindness, love, and compassion. This is the water that will put out the bonfires of anger and hatred upon this land. The sun is appearing on the horizon. Mankind is waking up from its slumber. We are going from darkness to light. Darkness has nowhere to hide. Discover your true nature. It's been there all the time. Ponder this over. It's been there all the time. The greatest game is being played right between your eyes.
When civilization combines wisdom with knowledge, they will understand the quantum field. We must look externally, and yet the most important aspect is to look within. Without looking within, we have created the chaos that we live in today.
Intro. How to use the quantum field? That is the question for this book. Mystics have talked about this for thousands of years. Lo and behold, the kingdom of heaven exists within. All the great religions talk about the inner kingdom. The Taoists have the following saying: the Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. The nameless is the beginning of heaven and earth. The name is the mother of 10,000 things. Ever desireless, one can see the mystery. Ever desiring, one can see the manifestations. These two spring from the same source, but differ in name. This appears as darkness, darkness within darkness, a gate to all mystery.
Modern-day scientists call this the quantum field. Einstein talked about this over 100 years ago. Yet our day-to-day life really hasn't changed much. Quantum field is a multi-dimensional energy which exists in all dimensions. We don't have any instruments to detect it yet. Scientists knows that it exists. I'm not kidding when I say you are the universe. You just don't know it. It's been there all the time. It's been there all the time. What are you talking about? What's been there all the time? You are the universe. You just don't know it. There are about 7 octillion atoms in your body. All are billions of years old. At the deepest level, you are the universe in human form. Wow! Isn't that incredible? On top of that, you are hardwired to discover your true nature. The signposts of God are all around you and inside of you. Yet, we are talking on our phone while driving down the freeway of life. The greatest miracle of life is keeping you alive. You are magnificent. Every single cell of your body is custom designed by God. You are infinite. Your body will someday die, yet your true essence will go on forever. You have the opportunity to discover your true nature. Behind your breath lies the answer. What is keeping you alive? All the great masters have said to be aware of the essence of your breath. Behind your breath lies your true nature. Infinite kindness, love, and compassion. This is the water that will put out the bonfires of anger and hatred upon this land. The sun is appearing on the horizon. Mankind is waking up from his slumber. We are going from darkness to light. Darkness has nowhere to hide. Discover your true nature. It's been there all the time. Ponder this over. It's been there all the time. The greatest game is being played right between your eyes. We are on a journey going from darkness to light. We're being guided, yet nobody can take any steps for you. You see, you have free will. Yes, God is your co-pilot, but you have to open the inner door and back out your car to take a divine spin. Signposts are all around on the freeway of life. You just need to be more aware and conscious. There will never be a time where you clap your hands and say, I know it all. This book will give you helpful hints on your journey in life.
What you want, you don't need. What you need, you don't want.
Intro. How to manifest your dreams? That's a very good question. What kind of dreams do you have? Why don't my dreams come true? I say affirmations, but do they truly work? I live life day to day. I don't think about my dreams. I have dreams, but I truly don't know how to manifest them. Is there any scientific evidence and techniques that help in manifesting my dreams? Mankind has been dreaming for a better world for thousands of years. Unfortunately, wars have been around forever so long. It seems chaos is prevailing upon the land. Yet, this is the struggle between darkness and light. You are a precious piece of the puzzle. When a person begins to align his dreams with the quantum field, one's life begins to change. A transformation occurs from me to we. Slowly, over time, an individual realizes that we are all one. An individual begins to transform his or her dreams to a dream for all humanity. Yes, this will take time. Baby steps are needed. 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. This is how we grow. This book hopefully will help you discover that there is a process that will help you to manifest your dreams and change your life. Just think, all the thoughts that you had since being born make up your personality. Yet most of the time, we live our lives in remote control. Our subconscious runs the show. 95% of our actions are driven by the subconscious, while only 5% is driven by the conscious mind. Experts estimate that the mind thinks between 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts a day. That's an average of 2,500 to 3,300 thoughts per hour. And that's incredible. Other experts estimate a smaller number of 50,000 thoughts per day, which means about 2,100 thoughts per hour. Yet how many are new thoughts? We have been playing the same record for years. We have the same exact routine. We go to bed, our alarm clock goes off, we use the same hand to shut it off, and go back to bed for 5 minutes. The alarm goes off again. We shut off the alarm. We stumble out of bed and go to the bathroom. We brush our teeth. We are trying to wake up. Off to the kitchen, we go to brew some coffee. It's time to head off to work, just in time for rush hour traffic. We make a few phone calls along the way. Some of us text when the cars are stopped. We make it to the office and do the same dull routines. I can go on and on. We are our own pharmacy. Every day, our bodies create hundreds of thousands of chemicals. These chemicals create strong emotions. Say, for example, you are angry. Your emotional state will be angry. Therefore, you will have angry thoughts. These thoughts will then create angry emotions. We are caught in a cycle. The goal is to be free. The goal is to be in tune with the quantum field. In order to manifest your dreams, there is some work that needs to do. This book will help you along the way. It's just a foundation to help you on this journey of life.
The clouds of the mind covers up the inner sun. Darkness exists upon the land.
You may ask why a book is named Cloudy Thinking. Imagine we've been playing the same tapes for thousands of years. We have fought countless wars. We still continue to fight countless wars with no end in sight. War is obsolete. It serves no purpose. As a matter of fact, it even causes more problems. We've been fighting in Afghanistan for over 17 years. It's the longest war we have fought. We still can't see the finish line. I was in Afghanistan many moons ago. They are extremely friendly, yet they have fought countless wars from outsiders trying to take over their country. I remember when the Soviets tried to take over in the 80s.
The first thing that came to my mind was, good luck. You have no idea what you're getting yourself in. They found out the hard way and left the country, never to return. We should have learned a lesson here, yet I call this cloudy thinking. If you ever saw the movie of Charlie Wilson's War, you understand the truth of this statement. Charlie had a bill to help Afghanistan after the Soviets left the country. Congress never passed the bill. Over half the population was under 21, and consequently the youth was not brought up properly. Then came the Taliban, and the rest is history. There are so many parts to cloudy thinking. Some is pure ego and arrogance. Presently, the world thinks that the U.S. is a bully. I won't get into that. Yet I firmly believe with kindness the world will go. I firmly believe with kindness the world will go on. Without kindness, the world will go on with its same old ways. Kindness blows away the cloudy mind. Even scientists know that. Anger causes the body to be flooded with over 1,500 harmful chemicals which damage the mind and body. The mind becomes cloudy. The mind can't see and think clearly. The Buddhists have a book called Crystal Clear, which talks about the steps to develop a clear mind. They have been practicing this for thousands of years. I find it fascinating that in the East has been researching positive states of mind for thousands of years. It's only been since the 70s that the Western world has embraced this. In the West, we thought we had all the answers. Many people still think that way. Many people are oblivious of another state of mind. I heard many years ago a poem from Rumi. He said, how strange is it for a fish to get thirsty when water is all around? Imagine the quantum field is all around us, yet we are oblivious of it. Now, that's ironic. This book will talk about ways to develop a clearer mind and the various manifestations that could take place in our society today. Only you can change your way of thinking. Nobody can do it for you.
Take care of your body. It is the only body you get, at least for this go-around.
Intro. The title of this book is Over the Hill. Not. Our Western society is totally driven and fixated on being young. We have an expression that when a person reaches the age of 40, he is considered over the hill. Many people say that half of your life is over. For many people, they think, my life is half over, and they have a midlife crisis. At Google, many young software engineers start to feel obsolete at 29 years old. A great sense of paranoia sets in. We are fighting a losing battle. We come into this world, live, and someday we leave this world. Nobody can escape that. Yet, at the same time, we try to hold on to our youth for as long as we can. I remember when I was just starting to learn how to surf. When a person reached the mid-50s, mid-30s, they would retire from surfing. I lived in Maui in my 40s, and I rode waves as high as telephone poles. A dear old friend named Rick Shadowlawn is still surfing in his late 60s. Times have changed, our attitudes on life have changed. This book is about thinking outside of your box. To be honest, the Western world has a warped attitude about the elderly. In our working environment today, there is a huge age discrimination, especially in the IT world. By the time one reaches the mid-50s, you are considered over the hill. You are washed up and have no place inside of the company. I experienced this time and time working for different Fortune 500 companies in America today. When a person reached the mid-50s, they were put out to pasture. Mind you, they might get tremendous severance paid. In order to receive it, you must sign a document that you will not sue them for age discrimination. This happened to me and countless others. I once had a job interview with a company that was owned by Dell Computer. The first interview was over the phone. Before we hung up, he said, "This was the best interview I ever had." The next day, I walked into the office for my face-to-face. As soon as I walked into the door, he looked at me and his jaw dropped. He wasn't expecting someone my age to come in. As a matter of fact, he couldn't remember the phone interview we had the day before. In my mind, who is older? Someone whose mind is constantly learning and growing, or a mind that has certain concepts about someone who is older. This is the epidemic today in America. Hopefully this book may provide some great advice on your journey in life. The majority of people live their entire lives in autopilot. We watch the latest drug commercials and take it all in. When something goes wrong, we go to the dear old doctor who will give you a pill. Mind you, this pill has tremendous side effects. Yet, we trust the medical profession. They would never mislead the public. Did you know that if you don't pay attention towards your health, someday disease will pay attention to you? This book will help you get wiser with age. Our wine can get much better as we age. We can never stop learning. A person who completely retires from life will soon end up in a box. I mean this quite literally. When one learns new things, the brain establishes new neural networks. Even when you think something out of the box, instantly a neural network gets created. Yet, in a space of a few days, one doesn't pay attention and not do anything about it, the neural network will collapse. All your positive and negative habits are neural networks. They're literally hardwired into your brain. If you want to enjoy life to its fullest, we must understand the mind, body, and soul connection. We must learn how to be conscious moment by moment. We must be aware. Remember, 95% of your actions come from your subconscious mind. We're living our lives in autopilot. We must learn how to reprogram our software in each and every moment. To be honest, most of humanity doesn't even have a clue how to do this. Recently, I saw a great article where we see only 1% of the light spectrum. This means we are almost missing the entire picture of life. Yet, we think we see it all. I find that quite fascinating. As I said before, the human body is hardwired and has the software to discover the quantum field. The human body is literally hardwired for this. The door is always open, yet do we have the eyes to see? Ponder this over. What do you think?
For this world to be sane, we must recalibrate in all areas of life.
Intro. The definition of recalibration is as follows. To calibrate something again. These systems gradually drift off course so that the navigational periodically needs a fresh point of reference to recalibrate the navigation system. Humanity needs a fresh point of reference. We are heading in the wrong direction. We are like a grand ship without a rudder. Our compass is pointing towards the north, and we are heading south, right into a hurricane. Our internal guidance system malfunctioned a long time ago. We don't even know that it even existed. Many politicians have lost their moral compass. Truth is fiction, and fiction is truth. Many of them spin the truth so much they can't even discriminate between truth and fiction in their own minds. Mind you, this is dangerous territory. Consequently, many Americans believe this. Just look at the Capitol building riot in early January. Many politicians have spun the truth to say it was a peaceful demonstration. Try telling that to Vice President Pence and his family. He had to run for dear life. We live in crazy and chaotic times. How does humanity change for the better? Can we change? That's probably a better question. Yes, we can. It will take time and patience. I don't see it in my generation or the generation after that. But seeds have been planted thousands of years ago. The harvesting of man takes patience and much care. Millions of people are slowly waking up from their slumber. Signposts are all around us. The recalibration first starts inside of you. From you, it expresses itself externally. It doesn't work the other way around. That's the problem. You have to be motivated to recalibrate yourself. Nobody can do it for you. That, my friend, is a biggie. Unfortunately, humanity is stuck in its ways and refuses to budge. Somehow, we prefer misery at our doorstep instead of walking in another new and wonderful direction. We are so used to living in chaos that we become chaotic in our daily lives. It is sad, but true. Every cornerstone of society has to change. Nothing can be swept under the carpet. We've already dumped a huge amount of garbage in our living rooms. Just think, we have a patch of plastic the size of Texas in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. A wise man once said many moons ago, we are sawing off the branch we are sitting on. I have a website called Evolution Revolution. This is where society must be headed. The evolution of man needs a peaceful revolution without any guns. The revolution begins inside of you. Anger and blaming others aren't the answer. Only kindness, love, and compassion are the keys to success. They must be mined within. Only by discovering these precious jewels within can you recalibrate. Your human body is wired for this. The operating system, hardware, and software have been there since your birth. You just have to turn it on. You must turn on the switch. All the great masters did this. They had the same problems you had. Nobody gets a free ride. But they all overcame their problems. They discovered the jewel within. They told humanity there is a way out of this chaos. For most people, this went over their heads. They couldn't understand the message. The message is always simple. True kindness exists inside of you. You have an infinite well of kindness inside of you. You are the universe, and you just don't know it. This book will talk about the various ways we need to recalibrate in all areas of life. I hope you get something out of it.
Everything in your life is a blessing in disguise.
Intro. What the fuck? Sometimes we need to express a four-letter cuss word. This life is full of adventures. I'm taking a 12-week course on Villarrepa's healing modality. It is extremely fascinating. You would think that life wouldn't throw you any curveballs during this course. After all, I'm studying and researching ways to improve my health and awareness. Well, life could care less what you think. Come with me on this funny journey in life. We are always in a state of continuous growth and learning. Hopefully, you can gain some wisdom from my journey. We can never rest on our laurels.
You can never rest on your laurels. Intro. My brother John has this motto, which recently I 100% agree with. It goes like this: the more you know, the less you know. My brother and I love to do research. It's part of our life. Most preachers that I've seen and heard use the same motto that my brother uses. It seems like the more you know, the less you know. I find that to be true. Just think, you could spend 1 trillion years meditating upon the quantum field, and yet, after 1 trillion years, it's still a drop in the bucket. When I was young, I really didn't understand the Taoist view of harmony. It was beyond my comprehension. Years later, my whole life is based upon trying to be in harmony in each moment. When my brother and I were quite young, we believed in preventative medicine. This was a novel concept 50 years ago today. Today, it is a novel concept again. My brother and I believe that this is the only body you get, at least for this lifetime. We asked ourselves, why not take care of it? The majority of society lives in a mode where they don't want to take full responsibility for their body and soul. Western medicine reflects that. We go to a doctor and he gives us medicine and we expect it to work. Mind you, all they are doing is masking the symptoms. They are not going to the source of the problem. No Western drug has no side effects. When you hear those sweet drug commercials on TV that are saying this drug may cause death in such a sweet voice, we never stop and think about it. Mind you, bad things will happen to someone else, not myself, but you are part of the equation. I find it fascinating that we break the whole body down into a series of systems. When a certain system breaks down, we go to a specialist. The specialist only knows his area and nobody else's. Life does not live in a petri dish. When we think our machine is so, our medicine is so sophisticated, just think we spend more than 4 times is the amount in the United States on the medical system than the defense system. The defense system spends about $800 billion a year. The medical system spends 4 times that. Each year, the system is spending more and more. Someday, both the medical system and the defense system will bring the United States to its knees. The more we spend on these 2 programs, it seems like the worse situation gets. There is no end in sight if we continue along these crazy ways. I find it fascinating that a boogeyman called COVID occurred upon this land. Mind you, COVID has caused thousands of deaths all around the world. Yet we are at war with a boogeyman. We don't know. We are responsible for what it has occurred. We don't believe in preventative medicine and preventative measures to take, so something like this could never occur. Just think, there's a universe existing inside of you that has trillions of bacteria and viruses. You need these precious bacteria and viruses to survive. There must be harmony with your entire ecosystem. The problem, both externally and internally, your ecosystem is on the verge of collapse. I love the work of Zach Bush. He is a great thinker and someone who thinks outside of the box. We are literally sawing off the branch that we are sitting on. Mother Nature sent us to our rooms during COVID. She wanted us to sit and to think about what we're doing to this precious earth. We bitch and moan. We want life to go on as usual, but life will never be the same again. Humanity is spinning out of control, both inside and outside. Can you imagine that every bite of food you take, every breath that you take, and every glass of water you take is contaminated by us? Roundup exists all around us and is destroying our lives. We simply put our heads in the sand and think nothing about it. I find it fascinating that during COVID, the ones who had a strong immune system, nothing happened to them. For those who had an immune system that was compromised, death did occur in huge numbers. I wrote a book about COVID before it even became well known. I heard all about it, and my instinct said this is going to be a roller coaster ride we have never experienced before. I talked about preventative measures we could take to make it easier for us to go through. I give us an F when it comes to receiving great wisdom to help prevent this in our society. There were practical things that we could do. I remember the ex-president mocking another president for wearing a mask. I have high hopes for our world, yet I know we have a rocky road ahead of us. We are still stuck in our ways and refuse to recognize we must change our ways. If we don't change, then humanity won't exist for much longer. Mother Nature will be around, but we won't. We are going from darkness to light. We can change our ways. Each one of us is a missing piece of the puzzle.